Tonight, we examine the state of the Nigerian nation at a time of deep political tension, worsening security challenges, and growing public concern about governance and leadership. Across the country, insecurity in the form of banditry, terrorism, kidnapping, and communal clashes continues to threaten lives and livelihoods, while economic hardship places additional strain on citizens. These challenges have intensified debates about the capacity of government and political leaders to protect the people and deliver meaningful development. Beyond policies and political promises, many Nigerians believe the nation is facing crisis of trust in institutions, in leadership, and in the social contract between the state and the citizens. Questions have been asked about where Nigeria is headed and what must change to restore confidence, unity, and stability. To help us unpack these issues, we are joined by Alhaji Idi Farouk, an elder statesman and former Director General of Nigeria National Orientation Agency during the Babangida administration. He brings decades of experience and perspective as we discuss the future of Nigeria's politics, security, and governance. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, Madam Ilyasu, for having me. Just a little point of correction. It was during the Obasanjo administration, not the Babangida administration.
Okay, point taken. Thank you very much for that. It's taken. Now, well, you've been in politics, you've been in governance, and we have just talked about the myriad of problems that the Nigerian state. Can you take us through your thoughts on the situation generally and whether government and politics are addressing these issues?
It's a very sad commentary. And it's rather unfortunate that government is not doing all that it requires to do to protect lives and property, which is part of its constitutional responsibility, and put in such policies that will make it possible for Nigerians to get out of poverty. Like we were discussing before, even the program. Nigeria is one of the richest economies in the world as far as I am concerned. And the rate at which people, which officials of governance are stealing is sickening. And it seems nothing is being done about it, and that's why the problem is. So, is government doing well as it is today? I do not think so. And it is at all levels. Because when we're talking about governance, we're not just stopping at the national. It goes down to the states.
And to the local governments?
There is no local government, rather, unfortunately.
Oh, really? You think so?
Is there? I was local government chairman in 1987. I was Kaduna local government
But that
chairman.
is where the governance should be felt.
It should be and should be felt. But suddenly the governors have hijacked. And here lies in part of our problems. Mr. President, on the first day, on the day he was being sworn in, declared that subsidy is removed. And subsidy, after removing subsidy, the economy of each state becomes better. What are they doing with such monies? Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has even passed judgment on the fact that local government is also a tier of government. There are three tiers of government: the local government, the state, and the federal government. But it seems to me that the states have hijacked the responsibility they have taken everything away from the local government, so to speak. As local government chairman and under the military, we had our own lands. In Kaduna there are local government lands, Ungwan Sarki, Ungwan Rimi, all such places where you have the masses, were lands belonging to the local government. I think they were ceded to the local government by the state. And therefore the local government has its own land, has its own
jurisdiction.
Yes. But as we speak, the local is more like an appointment. And when you appoint one of your lackeys as local government chairman, he doesn't even need to reside in the local government. He just comes and stays with you in the federal. Anytime money comes, it is shared. These things are not done, and it shouldn't be done. And that's why I said to you, Nigeria has probably one of the best economy in the world. But
best, I mean, are you saying best in terms of management or best in terms of revenue accruing?
Best in terms of the fact of what we have on ground. And indeed, how it is resilient. The resilience of the Nigerian economy is what's keeping us to go. Otherwise, tell me which country will one man steal 5 billion naira, another steals 15 billion naira. Now we're going into the trillion level of stealing. And this is going on, and we're part of the problem that I see, even with Mr. President, is appointing people who have cases of corruption in their hands. And that goes on even to the appointment of the ambassadors of recent. You put people who have not cleared their names. I am not saying that they are guilty, but you need to clear your name first. So
in a way, what you are trying to say is that yes, under the current situation we have, there's a lot of revenue accruing to the state. But then some economists and some public affairs personnel have said, look, that money that is going to the states, in quantum, does not even equate to what the little we used to have. Because yes, there is a lot in volume, but that volume, if you look at it, does not even equate with what used to.
No, my own argument here is not about the volume or whether it equates with yesteryear. I am saying what has come into you, what are you using it for? Let us take the state. They don't build hospitals, they don't give you roads, they don't give you schools. Go and see the level of our schools in Nigeria, not only in the northern part or southern part, no, everywhere of Nigeria. Run down places. Should this be where I fault the president when he gave out, first, I will not challenge removing the subsidy, because the subsidy, to me, it looked like a scam ab initio. Now the monies have been saved. Now you have enough, you have additional to send to the states. Good. But I think that you need to supervise. If I was to give you additional money, Malam Ilya, I want to ask you, please can I see what you intend to do with, I'm not asking for I'm asking for the additional. You don't give money and it's finished.
But state governors and states generally say, look,
they are independent.
They are independent. I mean,
what about the local government? Are they not independent?
Well, it's a constitutional matter. The Supreme Court has,
the Supreme Court has passed its own judgment. As a matter of fact, let me tell you, there was more democracy under the military rule where I served. I served under Tangiwa Umar. The Kaduna KCDB was collecting refuse for Kaduna. And I went up to him and said, this is my responsibility. As a local government, I don't want my local government to look dirty and unkempt. Can I take back my responsibility? Can you give me back my market? Because even the Kaduna market, if you know Kaduna very well, the Kaduna market was under KCDB. They handed over back everything. Because, I even took railway to court to take back the market. Today I see all over the place there are the state governments and indeed even the federal government have created some kind of bodies that take even the responsibility of local government from local government.
So looking at all this,
yes,
what should we expect?
Misgovernance.
What should we expect the government and the political circle to do to be able to at least ameliorate or at least address some of these
I think Mr. President
issues.
should put his foot down. All the corruption cases must go on, and they be. Really, it makes us look cheap when somebody of high standing will announce to the world that if you have any case and you move into the APC, your sins are forgiven. And indeed, it's working like that. Yeah, you can say it as a joke. And
are you saying that because you see a lot of political figures, governors, senators, leaving their parties to the APC? How do you read that?
That is another unfortunate situation. Let me put it like this: his President Goodluck had a lot of governors on his side, more governors than the APC had at formation. He had everything he had. He was in the villa. And like Marlon Ilyasu, you can't take power out of the villa. So the person inside the villa is the custodian of power. President Goodluck appointed INEC. He appointed every chief of police and had more governors and lost the election. And I think that this government is probably underestimating the power of opposition, because that's exactly what the PDP did in its time. We are going to rule for 60 years. Nobody can beat us.
But some of the functionaries of this government have said this is opposition issues, that opposition are just saying that because they know that they have lost.
Let us look at it. Even one of the governors, when moving, said he was moving so that he can get a ticket. Are they doing it for the party? Are they doing it for the presidential election? Or are they doing it for self? You get what I mean?
Yes.
If you ask me, I think they are doing it for self. Doesn't matter how many governors you have on your side. And in any case, how even popular are these governors in their states? Some of them might be bringing their baggage along to you. And in some cases, some of them, the baggage of the federal government they are going to take it along.
But then let's look at the one fact.
What fact?
As a governor, you have a right to move to any political party of your choice.
Was your name on the ballot? As a governor, as a senator, as a commissioner, not commissioner now, as a councillor and what, was your name ever on the ballot? On the ballot, you will have APC, you have PDP, you understand? So they are the beneficiaries of a victory of the PDP or the APC, as the case may be. Who told them they have the right to carry that mandate to somewhere else?
But they also cite the fact that in the party they belong to, which in this case is PDP, there have been crises within the parties, and the constitution says if there is any crisis within the party, they can move. This gives them the right to move to other party.
Was there a crisis that warrant you taking away? I will not. If you say you resign your partyship, you get what I mean, and you go back to the drawing board and you can recontest, I have no problem with that. But to take the mandates given to you by a political party is faulty. It's extremely faulty. As a matter of fact, it doesn't make sense to me.
But these things keep repeating themselves. It happened previously in Nigerian political history. It's still happening today. So,
which is rather unfortunate. Are we growing or are we deteriorating? Are we going back to God knows where? It's not right. You don't, go and check every ballot box. Nobody's name is on the ballot box, on the ballot paper. Nobody's name is on the party.
But we all know what has been happening within the PDP. We know that it's been faction ridden. There is
But you
all
see,
kinds
again, there has to be faction. There's no, even in your house and in my home, everywhere, there is, the quarrels must happen. How does that translate in taking it to another party? And I don't want to say I'm advising, because as I speak with you, I no longer belong to any party whatsoever. And incidentally, every one of them at that level is known to me. So I can say I am an advisor as I speak with you. At 77, what next? You take the situation of a governor who contested election. Let us use me and you. You contested against me. And I was declared winner. But you believe in your mind that I didn't win. And you are still warming up to recontest against me. Suddenly I come to where you are, where you have been nurturing over the years, so to speak. And then they say, I'm your leader. And that my ticket is guaranteed. It's not, is that democracy?
So there's a democracy deficit in the politics of Nigeria. Is that what you're saying? There is a democracy deficit in the politics we are practicing in this country. That's what leads to all this.
I don't argue with you. I agree with you. There is not even, I don't know how that deficit is so large. It will fill this room. There is deficit, no doubt. It doesn't, look, things can't work like this. You sit down, you say the governor of Akwa Ibom now is the leader of the party, over and above what is the Senate president. Abinisho, he wasn't his candidate. The Senate president had his candidate in APC, who was said to have been defeated by this man in PDP. 2 years into the line, he now moves here, and you call him leader. It doesn't work like that. I'm using this one just
okay. Let me even take you to a state like Kano, the state that everybody is struggling to.
If you are going and the governor is moving and he's not moving with Kwankwaso, I think it's faulty.
Yeah, but it appears that there's a lot of shenanigans going on. The governor is trying to move into the party, the APC, which is the opposition party in Kano State, and the
people of the APC are resisting.
Are resisting his coming in.
Exactly.
But before then, they were trying to give him the common to come in so that they can at least cut the size of the current political party in power in Kano. And suddenly,
if he comes in, he now becomes the leader. The leader over Ganduje, the leader over the deputy Senate president, the leader of the APC. That's their constitution. Therein lies the problem. The constitution of the APC is not welcoming for such moves. So when you move at your own peril, as far as I know.
No, but I seem to remember that at one time when issues like this came up, Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said that, look, it was not his place to make it easy for the opposition if they cannot put their house.
Look, I'm saying it's not a matter of making it easy for the opposition. As a matter of fact, these moves make it easy for the opposition. That's what I'm saying.
No, what he was saying in effect is that, look, it's their business if they cannot put their house together, and he cannot help them do that. It's their business. But all he knows is that he is consolidating his party and he cannot stop anybody from coming in.
No. I think Mr. President didn't look at it. He looked at it from the... not all governors are as popular as he was in Lagos. Do you understand? First and foremost, not all governors today are as popular as he was then. in Lagos. Because the truth is that we wanted to take APC, Lagos in the 2003 election, but he stood his ground and won. But some of his colleagues failed. Let him look at it from that. At that point, look at the 2003 election. Do you understand?
Yes.
The PDP, under President Obasanjo, my boss, wanted Lagos as in the kitty. He wanted more all parties, some parties, just like it's going on now, wanted Lagos inclusive. But then, in the southwest, all the states lost, only Lagos. Because, like I said, he stood his ground. And the people appreciated him.
For doing that?
For standing his ground, and voted for him. Therefore, in spite of Obasanjo's might,
Federal
and
might,
the PDP at that point, who couldn't take Lagos. So what I'm saying is not all the governors that are rushing into the APC today that are as popular as to win another election in their respective states.
Which also brings me back to Kano State.
Yes.
What, with this imbroglio happen in Kano State, what do you think? How would you place the fate of Governor Abba Yusuf Kabir?
Yeah, Governor Abba Yusuf Kabir as well. I mean, all that I'm hearing, to a large extent, I want to say it's rumor. Kwankwaso is known to me. He himself, the governor, is known to me. But I hear he wants to cross.
That's the governor?
That's the governor. I hear he wants to cross.
So what's stopping him from crossing, and what would be his fate?
I will not know. But don't forget, like I explained to you just now, it is an election. The 2000 and this is not the first election he won. The one before this, you get what I mean? That brought the second term for Ganduje. He won. You don't forget there was declared. How did they declare this thing? Incomplete or what have you, where they had to push the commissioner out. They did this and then declared. So I would ask him, I would advise for him to be wary of such moves. But then, because it can be dangerous for his own
political future.
Yeah, political future. In the sense that the Kwankwaso movement is strong and alive.
Now let's go to Rivers State. It's been a state that has been in the news since the beginning of this, since the coming of the current administration. And if you notice, Rivers State has been quite embroiled in so many issues. It has not yet even been resolved because the governor is
It's a very good example of the issue of governor moving and taking over leadership of what they call. Wike might not have declared officially to be APC, but it is common knowledge that he is more APC
than PDP.
Than he is PDP.
So with the situation now,
and you can see, because it's smartness again, you can remain in the opposition party and do more for governance, for government. Like Wike, it's a clear example. He's in the PDP, damaging it, and still calling himself PDP. Although we all believe he's APC. Now the governor has left and moved even before him. Not even for, he didn't know. He's the leader of the party. He's the leader of the APC.
But Wike's forces appeared not to allow themselves to be consigned to the sidelines of politics in Rivers State.
I mean, really, if I am to advise Wike, I will say you are doing a good job in Abuja. That is in the area of providing infrastructure. But you might not be doing a good job as it concerns other issues. But in the area of providing infrastructure, creating roads, opening up this, it's a very good job. To an extent, Abuja itself is bigger than so many states. You should concentrate, you do more. Because you continue to do like you are doing, you are bringing about bad blood in the system, and it's also going to affect the president. Because it is believed that the president is allowing so many things to happen. He's giving so much latitude to you, and then you are using it. But use it positively. He doesn't seem to be doing it positively. And for goodness sake, River State, allow it. You are saying agreement is an agreement. What the hell are you talking about agreement? I'm sorry to use the word. What agreement can you use? What I mean, between me and you, yes, ordinary citizen, Indian citizen, Ilyasu can have agreement. But what agreement can you have with an outgoing governor and an incoming governor? What agreement can you have that you don't want published? I think that your agreement with the incoming is to advise that, because even in the River State, I understand he was doing some good job. I haven't been there to see. I want to advise him to continue.
But it appears
not having private agreements that is prone to so many interpretations.
It appears that the issue in River State, it's about a number of issues. The vote richness of River State and the resources from that state. And it's a very important, pivotal state in the South.
It is important
and
for
it's
who?
Also, and
who?
As a vote, just like Kano is, you know, in the vote tally, so also is Rivers. And in this case, Wike is saying he is the leader of politics in Rivers State, and Mr. President haven't recognized him in that respect.
Let us get it right. And why does he believe? He worked for Mr. President. Do you understand? He worked for Mr. President in that election. But he worked as governor, not as Citizen Wike. When he did what he did for Mr. President, he was governor and he has all the powers. He didn't take those powers away from the brick house, as they call their government house. Like you remember I told you, the occupant is the custodian of the power. And in that case, the real custodian of power in that place today is Fubara. Let us get it right and call a spade a spade. Any other person hitting himself against the wall and claiming is a claim. But we all know that the leader, I mean, as a matter of fact, let me remove the word leader, because that your governor doesn't confer on you the status of being called a leader. Because there are so many leaders. In fact, the leader, I mean, if you go to Taraba today, assuming, I'm using Taraba, or so many states in the what they call, T.Y. Danjuma is leader. His word is law, but he's not governor. Don't also forget, he's also leader. So leader, that you are governor does not confer on you that title of leader, no. But numero uno.
Today, okay, let's go back. Let's go to other issues.
And please, in that reverse, which I forgot to tell you, those members of House of Rep are impersonators.
You mean House of Assembly or House
of Assembly? Yes, because they have sworn to affidavit that they are APC before, and so they lost their membership. So what's all this moving in here, moving outside? You had a long time ago made the move that excised you from the house. when you swore to an affidavit that you have dumped the PDP and moved to the APC.
But are you satisfied with the handling of the Rivers issue by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Because
no.
Why are you not satisfied?
No. Let me talk. I'm not going to talk advise Bola Tinubu. I want to say if I, Idi Farouk, was president, and you, Ilyasu, is my appointee, and you have behaving in ways not that is inimical to my own progress, I'll sack you.
Just like that?
What is just like that?
Because
every appointee is just like that.
Wike has more or less like dared the president and said, look, if the president finds me not useful to him, he's free to sack me.
No,
and that means
there are so many ways of doing things. You can make some statement in the open today and go back and say, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but if you continue with that kind of behavior...
I'm sorry. It depends on the...
So which means Mr. President does not have the handle on what is happening in
No, you are using the word handle. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm saying that he is long-suffering.
Okay, let's turn to issues. Insecurity, banditry, to the point that even we had to, in a way, subcontract our security, our ability, the ability to, address the issue of terrorism to a foreign state when we have a standing. You were formerly even in the military. You from your resume, you were part of the Air Force, and this issue.
When I was in the Air Force, I was just there at such a rank that all I can do is obey orders. But let's come to it. Did we contract it? There was a petition raised by some, I understand, some Christian groups to America. And maybe that petition had been persistent in saying that Christians are being killed. Genocide against Christians. First, like I do know, that there is no such thing like genocide against anybody. But when bandits go into Plateau, or when bandits go into Benue, they will be killing Christians. They are bandits, and the majority of the people there. But the bandits also go to Sokoto. They go to Zamfara.
Katsina.
They go to Katsina. They even go to Kano. Who are they killing? They're killing Muslims. So Muslims, but that's not an excuse. I think that, and for a long time, even before now, I had said our soldiers are strong, but they are not enough. We need more boots on the ground. And I don't see anything wrong with hiring the services, employing the services of people who say their trade is to help you fight wars. They are called mercenaries. Hire them, give them the assignment, they come in with their help your soldiers and get away. Trump, I think it was unilateral, in my opinion. And what did they really do? What did they really do? What government must do, for God's sake, is to wake up and do all sorts of things that is required to be done. Because this insecurity is all over Nigeria. And if any state of Nigeria is insecure, the rest of Nigeria is also insecure. So for goodness sake, there is need to put more boots on the ground if you have to.
We see situations in Sokoto where whole villages in local governments, across several local governments, Isa, and the rest of them, people evacuating themselves out of those local governments.
Yeah, because they have been attacked.
So,
and they are not all of them that you are talking about. They are Muslims. So it's not about this war. It's not about Christians or Muslims. It's about government waking up to its responsibilities,
which
and putting a
so far has not been able to attend to in a satisfactory manner.
No, it has not been attended to as it ought to.
Necessitating, the.
But I don't think that Nigeria invited the service as a government. I don't think we invited the services of Trump.
Yeah, but the Nigerian government said the attack was in collaboration with it provided the intelligence and collaborated with the Americans.
They say they invited them? That's what I'm saying.
Maybe that's the difference between 6.5
Did they invite them? We want to invite. You invited me to come to this. What's it called?
Yes.
So I can say you.
So, but we saw before the attack, some Nigerian government, a high-level Nigerian government team, led by Nuhu Ribadu. They can't get as high as...
after the...
No, before.
After. I think it's after. The attack has happened.
Yeah.
And I think they went to explain.
No, when the Trump administration declared Nigeria a country of particular concern.
Yes.
The attack happened on Christmas Eve. So, the delegation that went to the Americans was before the attack, and we had thought...
I'm not too sure of the sequence of events, but it is my belief that the new Ribadu-led group went after. Yeah, but even then, when they declare us a country of particular concern or something like that, there is need for explanation. But even then, I mean, really, if we give good governance, if we ignore even that country of whatever and go on the path of good governance, and what I mean by good governance is, for God's sake, let the Fed, during the Abacha era, I think they removed fuel subsidy or something. And they created the
Petroleum Trust Fund.
And
other intervention programs.
Yes, and you can see the Petroleum Trust Fund under Buhari then has since been, up to now people talk about them, and they talk about them in very good ways. So I think that's why I said, in giving these monies, what you call excess now, so to speak, in giving it to the states, you need to know, because the performance of the state also affects the performance of the federal government.
So we're looking at all this because there doesn't seem to be, the circle has not been squared in many of the issues we talked about. Mm-hmm. You talk, because when you take one issue, you see that there is a deficit in government in attending to these issues. Now we are heading into an election next year, a very critical and crucial election. And do you have a sense that the government and the political circles really are ready or are appraised or are really up to scratch with the situation?
When you're going to any football, any game at all, and you underrate the opposition, you end up in what's it called? Don't forget that the APC came up like how, as we speak now, another ADC, is it ADC now?
Yeah, ADC.
APC and ADC. ADC started, that the ADC is not a new party in the first place. It has been there for God knows how long. But since there was this
entry into the party,
because of the fact that the PDP had been hijacked, so to speak, so they left and came. Watch out. If we continue along this path, if the APC believes that these people are not fit enough, it will be a mistake on their path, because the ADC is formidable.
It doesn't have any governor, it doesn't have any, maybe a couple of senators and few like that.
The truth about it is that I think in the next 2-3 weeks, there will be, in fact, there might even be, what do you call it, a tsunami moving into the ADC.
So, and you believe...
Because some of these people that are moving in are moving into the ADC, the APC, in the belief that they will get automatic ticket. Where do you get that? So immediately that automatic ticket is not secured. The party next to look at is the ADC.
But wouldn't that also translate into problems within the ADC? ADC is not yet Uhuru for ADC. Many people say, yes,
no,
many people
ADC
might leave APC to ADC because of, disenchantment and disappointment.
Yeah, of course, yes.
Yeah, but then would they find the same, would they find the accommodation they need to the ADC?
Well, Ilya, I'm not a prophet.
You are helping us to unpack this.
Yeah, but I know that underestimating the opposition is a dangerous thing in every kind of contest.
And you can also say that ADC overestimating its abilities against a formidable, look at the difference between Goodluck Jonathan and Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They are miles apart in terms of politics, in terms of political strategy. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu seems to, everybody seems to give him that, that credit for being a good political strategist, and he may be aware of this. And if ADC,
and that is why I'm advising him to put his political strategist cap and look at what's going on in his party, because the influx of governors who are coming in, are they coming in because they like him? Are they coming in because they like this APC, the CPC, the APC? Or are they coming in because they want a ticket in the belief that he will use federal might to support them?
But let me even draw parallels. In 2015, the opposition had a rallying figure in the person of late General Muhammadu Buhari, and this man has been consistently performing very well in the previous elections. So they could rally him around him.
He was not consistent, it says, because he wasn't doing well.
Yes,
that's why they came in to form the APC.
But his vote tally in the elections he had participated.
He always had a support.
What they call, his what do you call it in banking terms? I remember the word now.
When you remember, let's get there.
Okay, so but here we see the ADC even before it gets to, to get to where it's supposed to go, having issues regarding who should be its leader, who should be the flag bearer. Don't you think that itself is another issue that APC can capitalize on?
When the time gets to present a flag bearer, there will be no time that any party will be short of flag bearer. I'm not talking about the ADC or the APC. If it were not for the power at the person of Tinubu, you might see somebody even contesting against him. Don't forget that when Obasanjo was coming for second term as president, he was challenged by Ekweme. Challenged up to going to Eagles ground and this voted for, against, and for. So you think that it is not who, and that's the mistake I'm saying that the APC will make in underestimating the fact that Atiku is washed out, that Peter Obi is washed out, that El-Rufai is washed out.
Oh, Amechi?
That Amechi is washed out. No, make that mistake to your peril.
What makes you say that?
Because I have seen things happen before now. Do you understand? It has happened before. Why do I say so? Because the APC removed the PDP even as incumbents. They didn't have the amount of governors that they had. They didn't have, but they had Buhari, they had Tinubu.
Rochas Okorocha.
You have Rochas Okorocha.
Even Amechi was there.
And the Amechi himself. Some of the people who are in the APC have made it strong, have left, and they are now, even Atiku at one time was even in the APC.
So can you paint a scenario for us? Just a scenario as we approach 2027. What are the likely, things that will come up, that will crop up, along the line as we approach 20. Maybe this year might be the decisive year for
It is decisive
politics.
year because the election will be in February, inshallah. Next year.
Yeah.
And candidates will emerge by August, July, thereabouts, for the parties, and they will begin to go looking for. Meanwhile, some of the parties have lost their followers, their membership rather, because this membership came in on the understanding that they will get direct entry, kind of. They didn't get it. So watch out for the opposition. The opposition is not as weak as it's portrayed.
Yeah, well, okay. President Tinubu seems to be in the eye of the storm.
Yes.
The insecurity, it makes a beeline to him. The social and economic situation in the country, he's also he's supposed to have a handle on it. And on top of that, we have politics of insecurity, political, uncertainty. How do you think he can navigate through this without,
Let him come out of the bushes. Let him come out of the trench. Let him come out physical. Let him give us leadership. Let President Tinubu give us leadership. And by that I mean, drive from here to Kaduna. No road. Drive from Kano to all these things are not.
But the president says these are things that will happen. I mean, Nigerians should be patient, and these are necessary
pains. But things are
pains.
happening in the first term. It is how you do in the first term that will guarantee your second term.
And that's why he's saying, give me the chance in 2027.
I mean, like for instance, the road from Badagry to what's it called? I cannot comment on it because I do not know the benefits. But they seem to be taking the Nigerian populace for granted. And that's why everybody that I know has been speaking ill of it. But I went to check when the Pharaoh of those times was building the pyramid. Do you understand? I am sure that Egyptians at that time thought he was a madman. And of course must have condemned it as we are now condemning that road. Because we don't know what the benefits will be. So before you take any action, can you please educate? You have all the machineries that you can use to educate the Nigerian populace so that you can get their buy-in and tag along with you. You understand? The tax law, for instance. At my level, I don't even know what's going on there. Take us along and give us good governance. Basically, that's what we're asking.
Okay, well, that's where we have to stop there. I would have loved us to continue because the issues are many and very germane. But for now, thank you very much, Alhaji Idi Farouk, for giving us your time. I know you are quite a busy man, but it's a pleasure having you on Sunday Politics. We hope to have you some other time. And viewers, that's a wrap up on this week's edition of Sunday Politics. Thank you very much for being with us. Daily Politics returns tomorrow. And on behalf of the team, I'm Ilyasu Gadu. Bye for now.